Hello guys, Tops here. Today I want to talk about the perk fast adaptation. And this is the beginning of a series. I want to talk about all perks in the game, specifically not only in a tier list. So there might be some interesting things for you. We are kind of deep diving into the perks. All right, the first perk is fast adaptation. We are going in order. And fast adaptation gives you plus 10% hit chance if you miss with your attack. So, this is really good if you have low hit chance. So, if you have brothers who have bad melee skill or you hit an opponent that has really high defense, fast adaptation is good. It also works well with AoE and especially with weapons that attack more than once per turn. It has less value with high-end bros that have high skill, and it has less value with two-handed attacks that only attack once per turn, right? Because if you miss, you can't immediately attack again, right? So this is one of these perks. It's like a very good level 1 perk for your, or level 2 perk rather, for your low tier bros, because now they start doing damage, right? Like plus 10% hit chance, like your early game bros who have low stats, they will miss all the time. So it's like really easy to get plus 10% hit chance. Also, in the early game, you don't use two-handed weapons. You usually use swords and spears, stuff like that. So fast adaptation is, yeah, probably the best damage perk that you can get for your first perk point. Because, you know, it's kind of the only damage perk. Yeah, and that's kind of fast adaptation. Here we have the Steam guide from Turtle, highly recommended. I will try to link that down in the description, and there's a complete breakdown of how hit chance, how beneficial hit chance is. So if you have like 30% hit chance, you get like plus 10% efficient melee skill or something, right? Yeah, better calculated right here. Note though, AoE attacks can only proc fast adaptation once. So if I have a great swords and I AoE, I can only proc it once. So if I miss the first one, I would get for the second one plus 10% hit chance. If I hit this is resetted. And then if I miss the second one, yeah, I would miss still. Doesn't work. Sorry guys. But like with AoE, especially if something like the gun, I can only proc it once. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. And we have, right, there's another discussion, like fast adaptation is like, it's hit chance and not melee skill. So that's actually better versus dodgy enemies, because your melee skill is valued against defense and thus lower. So having like plus 10% hit chance flat is really good versus dodgy enemies, not so good versus opponents that have negative defense, like orcs, for instance. Really good in the early game. I personally like it for archers as well. And yeah, that's kind of like some stuff. And I kind of want to show you in game fast on what kind of bros outside of the early game I take fast adaptation on. So fast adaptation is probably like, it's a fine level 1 perk. It's like more offensive, right? And it's more offensive than defensive. So a lot of the times you like to take stuff like Nine Lives or Colossus for your defense. But fast adaptation is nice as well. Okay, so this is our Iron Man run, and we have, sometimes I take fast adaptation on my sword duelists. Kind of my early game bros. Yeah, and as you can see, these are kind of like the late game two-handed frontliners. I don't take fast adaptation on them, but I really like fast adaptation on my range bros. And I think it is it's probably the best perk for all range bros, because it's a level 1 perk. So you get it the first, and it really, like, especially when you have a level 2 archer or something has like 50 range skill, maybe even less, right? And then he gets plus 10% hit chance. That's huge. That's huge. With fast adaptation, your range bros start doing damage right from the beginning. and they don't need like multiple levels and a lot of range skill before they start hitting stuff. And again, especially with the gun, who has like a Q can hit up to 6 targets, fast adaptation is basically a guaranteed proc in between, so that's an additional hit with your gun. So I really like it on my gunners. Yeah, crossbows have better accuracy, but I still like it on them. It's really good on throwers because they can throw twice per turn, potentially. Really good on archers with quick shots because they potentially can hit twice per turn as well. Or they can shoot twice per turn with quick shot. I didn't take it on this guy because he has, yeah, it's a triple star archer, 105 range skill. I wanted another damage perk instead. Yeah, but generally these are the perks that I like to take it on. Yeah, on AoE attacks, like if you have a super low attack greatsword or sword lance, you can take it on these ones. Duelists might benefit from that. Again, like one-handed guys. I wouldn't take it on the two-handed bros. Like, yeah. Especially if you have like backline with pole arms, stuff like backstabber is probably better. But fast adaptation doesn't mean too much if you can only hit once per turn with your weapon. But you might still take it if you have low melee skill. But for your late game bros, you probably don't need it for your two-handers. Alright guys, this was it. My fast, not really fast, my fast try to how fast adaptation works and on what kind of bros I take that perk. I hope you like that, and I will see you in the comments. And in the next video guys, have a nice day. Bye bye.